what's the first thing you think about when you open up a new podcast?
It's a blank slate. I don't think about anything.
And it kind of like entices you to wonder, like, what am I going to learn? Or what are these guys going to talk about? Or who are these guys, right?
Yeah. Like, who are we? Who are we to be talking about anything on here?
And the answer to that is we're just freaking regular people.
And everybody with a podcast is just a regular person talking.
Like completely regular. And it's so interesting how that works. How all you have to do is put yourself on a platform and you instantly look like you're something more or less of what you really are. And I feel like us putting ourselves out there, trying to make an impact, can come off in like so many different ways. But I love the fact that regardless of what it can come off as, we still show up and we still just trying as regular individuals to do our best and to help people every single day. I think it's so special.
I think it's just a creative tendency. You know, like if you have the tendency to create, and I think both of us are very creative people at the end of the day. When you have that tendency to create, you want to share that creation. You want other people to be passionate about what you're passionate about. You want other people to resonate with what resonates with you. You know, it's a sense of just a belonging. When you create, you want to have that sense of belonging. I think that's why we end up sharing this stuff on the internet, or why anybody shares stuff on the internet.
Yeah. And like this whole personal development journey, like taking that with a grain of salt and trying to understand like the depth of a personal development journey, and then actually teaching people and guiding people through that process, guiding you through that process. The person that I'm speaking to at the other end of this device of whatever you're listening to us on, like things don't happen overnight. There's 1,000,001 things that go into every single process, whether that be setting up this studio, or that be, I don't know, making a t-shirt like I do for screen printing, or that be just putting yourself out there in general. There's 100 million things that go on with every process. And personal development, growing, becoming the best version of yourself is another process. It takes time.
Growth is the macro. But you don't think all the micros, all the cold showers and all the workouts and all the putting yourself out there and all the eating clean and all of the positive self-talk. Those are the micros that contribute to the growth itself.
Exactly. And it's about understanding that you don't have to do all of those micros in one day. You know, you take your time. First, start up. Get up in the morning. That's all you need to do. Wake up, put one step on the floor, get out there, do your best every single day, and then with time, that growth will come as long as you keep moving forward. That's just what it's about. You can't give up.
It's not easy to get up every day, right? But you find that it is easier to just get up and do what you've been put on this earth to do rather than resist it. It's so much harder and so much more bearing on your soul to just resist what you're meant to do. When you put that resistance in, I don't want to go to the gym this morning, or I don't want to make this video right now, or I don't want to go to work. You're going to do it anyway. So you're ultimately just resisting life. You just have to let life flow through you, flow through life.
Yeah. And really taking that in is the most important part. Like internalizing it. Not all right, going to the gym it's very hard and I really don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyways. But understanding that the fact that you get up, and if you even get yourself to the gym and get yourself to do one push-up, the small wins is what actually brings you to the bigger picture, getting you to the destination that you're longing to be. Happiness, peace, love, success. Like that's just what we crave. And you know, I have this insane feeling of well, it's like, it's just emotion. I have this emotion built up. I'm like shaking thinking about it. Like I just went viral on TikTok again. And it was a video of me telling people that they're worth it, they can't give up, and their future depends on them. And I'm going through these comments, and there's thousands of people that are commenting, and they're saying, like, this video just saved my life. Like, I had a blade next to me. People comment these things because they feel like there's no one for them. They feel like there's nobody out there that actually cares about them. They feel like there's no one there for them. And it starts within. And that's what I'm trying so hard now. Now that I'm continuously building a stronger audience of people that need the help, and that's what I've been trying to do for the past year. I get to help these people. I get to say, now it's about the growth. Now it's about focusing on yourself. It doesn't matter if there's nobody else that's not there for you. You have to start by yourself. Find what you love inside. Find how you can take everything that's built up inside of you and channel it to something greater. Find what you love and then follow that passion through until you're at a place where you look back and it's 6 months behind you and you're just, wow. Maybe I'm on the other side of the screen now telling other people they could do it, you know?
So it was a long journey for you to come to that place though.
Yeah.
Right? So from where you were in that time 6-8 months ago, a year ago, like how did you get here now? Like how have you changed your mindset and changed your outlook on life to be so optimistic, positive, and loving and gracious towards everything?
It was just constantly looking to be more open to things, I guess. Because the more that I saw different opportunities, the more that I said, you know what, I'm not going to let my mental get in front of me. I'm just going to do this because I know it could possibly help me. And then the more that I took on those benefits, the more that I said, all right, I'm going to add one more thing. Just add one more thing. I'm going to start waking up. I'm going to give myself a sturdy schedule. I'm going to make sure, like people say like making your bed doesn't do anything. And yeah, once you get to a certain point, making your bed doesn't do anything. Okay, fine. Yeah. Right now, I don't make my bed so much. But back then, making my bed gave me so much structure. Like, that was just one thing. The fact that I was able to wake up every morning and have the discipline to make my bed, even though I don't want to, even though I could just leave it and come back later, I, one, gave myself the discipline to make my bed. And then two, at night when I got ready to go to sleep, it was a privilege. Like, my bed was beautifully made. I was able to get in nice and comfy. And just like those small things, it just piled up. And now, like as we spoke about in our previous podcast, like there's just the compounding effect. It's just so overwhelmingly beautiful. And like, thank you for asking me that question. I need to answer that. Full blown.
No, that was a good answer. And you're kind of on the same wave where I am. And I try and act in my life to perfection. I try and consciously act. It's called karma yoga, where I'm just putting my awareness in everything that I do, whether it's putting my shoes on or walking to my car or sipping my coffee. Like, I'm fully present with that moment. Yeah. You understand where I'm coming from? But that also allows you to perfect all of your actions and stay in tune with everything in life. And that's something that you're very close with as well. Like, when I'm thinking, like, everything that I'm doing, I'm thinking, if I was doing this for God, I don't want to get religious, but if I was doing this for God,
get religious.
I'll get religious. So if I was doing this action for God, would I do it in this way? Would I leave a dirty dish in the sink for God? Would I leave my pan on the stove for God? Would I not wash my clothes for God? Like, no, like, treat every action as if you're doing it for your creator.
Exactly. Like, for us, I'm Jewish. Personally, like, when we go and pray, so there's people that show up differently, the way that they dress. There's some people that wear, like a rabbi. Why does a rabbi wear white shirt, black pants, and a suit? You know, like, why do they dress that way? You're showing respect. You're showing I am a servant of the Almighty, the one up above there. You know, so I hear what you're saying, but also you were saying before how, like, you keep your focus and your intentions with everything. And I love that you said you were like always moving, and you were like moving, trying out different stretches, going back and forth, like, and I was like very inspired. I'm gonna start doing some stuff like that, like actually getting more active, because, like, oh gosh, I need to get back into shape, man.
Think of a still pond in the middle of Pennsylvania, and it's got all green algae all over it, right? Like, and it's mucky on the bottom, like. You don't want to, that's not what you want to be living in. You want to be a river. You want to be flowing all the time. So when you can be moving all the time and just moving your bodies in different ways and the blood's flowing, like, that's health. That's wealth. That's just the light, the love flowing through your body.
It probably feels so good.
Yeah, it feels amazing, because I don't move in a way that's rigid where it's like, I have to stretch right now. Like, no, like, I get to stretch right now. If I'm feeling a little bit tight, I get to go bend down and touch my toes. If I'm feeling like, oh, maybe you could do a couple push-ups right now, I get to get down and do some push-ups. I just let the same drive that allows me to create is the same drive that allows me to move, because all of my movement is creative. I don't follow any structure when I do yoga or structure when I work out. Every workout is my creation. Every yoga session is my creation. Every qigong session is my creation. It's just, this whole life is creative.
Wow. It's a crazy perspective you have. Wow. And just not, I don't even know how to put this into words. Like, you're talking about the river and how it's flowing. When you're just stuck and you're doing nothing, it's kind of like, not nothing, but if you're in bed, right? You're in bed all day, it's a Saturday, you're just chilling. You got nothing to do. You're off of work, you're off of whatever, and you're just sitting, you're scrolling, let's say. Personally, like, I have Shabbat, so I just sleep. Or I read, or whatever. Me, it's a different story. I'm just trying to give an example. So you just, let's say you're scrolling on TikTok. You're not getting the blood moving. You're not getting nothing moving. And you're saying you flow like a river. Has such a good ring to it. Like, you just get up and you start moving. When you say river, I almost feel like my blood flowing as I'm stretching already. Like, you get up and you suddenly can just wiggle and stuff. Like just so free.
It doesn't matter what way you move. That's the best part about it. Is as soon as you give up that expectation of, oh, why are you moving like that? Like, you've probably seen somebody just walk in a weird way, run in a weird way, doing something weird, and you judge them initially, and you're like, you catch yourself. As soon as you stop judging other people, you don't judge yourself. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm swinging my arms this way or that way, right? Or reaching up above my head or touching my toes. Like,
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like, you literally just move how you feel. When I like to say, living in tune, right? If the tune of the universe wants me to reach down, I reach down. If the tune of the universe wants me to reach up, I reach up. I don't fight these urges that I have. If I want to create something, I do. If I want to read, I do. I kind of act on my impulses, but I'm there just present with all my actions. Yeah,
while still in a structured manner, of course. But that's definitely a good point to touch on. And wait, I forgot what I was gonna to ask you. That just
did it have to do about the river flow?
No. I was listening to what you were saying and I got distracted. Okay. No, that's completely fine. But like, yeah, river flow, water, right?
Yeah. That's the same way with creation. I was writing it up there. I wrote creativity is a feeling. It's something you tune into, right? It's the same
I remember my point. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I remember my point. Sorry, that was the greatest feeling ever. You know when you remember your point and you're like,
yeah,
I remember now. So I was just, I told you I was doing yoga like last week, Saturday. I was doing yoga for the first time in so long. I was so tight. I was in the surf. Side point. I was in the surf last Friday, firing. So good. I surfed. And as I'm in the water, all of a sudden in my right hip, I had the most insane cramp of my life, dude. I cannot explain it. I cannot express this. It was so tight. I'm wearing these gloves. So if you don't know, when you're surfing in the winter, here in New Jersey, the water's like 40 degrees. And you need to wear these gloves, boots, hood, 5mm wetsuit. So I have these gloves and I'm rubbing on my leg and I'm just trying to get this cramp out. 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes later, that cramp goes away in my hip and then I get one on my leg. Bro, I couldn't, and this is I'm goofy, so I surf with my left foot in the back and I have it right in my leg, right in my calf, and I'm pulling and I'm just trying to get out of it. I said, all right, that's it, yo. Tonight, tomorrow, I'm going full throttle yoga session. So Saturday, when I don't have any work, I don't have anything to do, right before lunch, I'm sitting in my living room for 30 minutes. No joke. Stretching out everything. And you were saying how there's no direction with it when you're stretching. And I fully related to that because at first I was like, damn, I haven't done yoga in months. And I completely forgot the proper positions. But the truth was I was just going with the flow. If I'm in tabletop position, which means your back is flat, your shoulders are above your palms, and your hips are on top of your knees. I would just go wherever I felt after that. Like, am I going down? Am I going to stretch out my hips? Am I going to go forward? My back, my shoulders, my neck, everything. And I was just going in every single direction after like 5 minutes of thinking like, oh, I need to do this a certain way. Like, screw your thought. Like, you don't got to do that. Just go with the vibe, man. And like, I really connected with what you just said. And that's why I had to bring that point back.
No, that's beautiful. It's all about letting go.
Yeah.
It's all about letting go. You just move, you just draw, you just paint, you just write. It doesn't matter. I was messing around in my journal yesterday, and I was like, what do I want to write in this blank page? And it doesn't really matter what I write on this page right now.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter, and that's why this doesn't really matter that's such a beautiful thing, because it doesn't, and it kind of has been encouraging me to just if I have this feeling that I want to make a video or a message I think other people would resonate with, just record it. Why wait? Why let the idea go stale, right? Because ideas go stale if you don't act upon it right away.
Yeah.
So why not make a video? If I sit down and I have a good idea for a little drawing that I want to make, it doesn't matter if I go post it on the internet or if anybody else likes it. Like, I like it. I want to make it. So just make it for me.
Yeah. I mean, and like, you don't have to post it.
No.
But just, I feel like creation is such an important part of existence. Like, we are just mini forms of our overall creator. Like, the fact that there's billions of cells in our body, like that's all creation. That's art. My friend Joseph Torquia, if he listens to this, then he'll know. And if he doesn't, then I'm mad at you. No, I'm not. But he was telling me how the receptors and the this and that, and he's a doctor. Kid just got a 511 on his MCAT. That's like the highest score you could get is a 528. This kid is a genius. He spent all summer studying. Crazy kid. Good for you, Joe, if you listen. He was telling me the intricacies of the body and how it's like it's a work of art. It's the craziest thing. And it's all creation. Like the fact that this wood over here, this whatever, this is all creation. We are just mini creators. And for you to like take away from that, it would just be a shame. Like, everybody has their form of creation, whether it be starting your own business or nurturing somebody else's business. You're still creating something, whether that be an Excel sheet or that be a video or something.
Or a relationship.
A relationship as well. Every single thing is a form of creation. Getting into that is getting into a more tangible form of creation, I think, is something so special. I think it's something that if I didn't have in my life right now, I wouldn't be as happy as I am now. I don't know.
I think everybody's inherently creative. Every human, every being for that matter, is inherently creative in their own way. And it's just up to interpretation. Like, I was watching this video in class actually, and they were showing about how intelligent these animals are. Whales, dolphins, and monkeys, right? And the man that was working with the dolphins, I don't know where it was at, but he went outside and he was smoking a cigarette outside the tank, and the baby dolphin was looking at the guy smoking a cigarette, and it went over to its mother, nursed for a minute, came back, and then spit out the milk in the waters because it knew it was going to look like smoke right in front of the guy. So like, that's just an example of like every being on this planet is inherently creative. Like, think of a like a bee's nest or a beehive. Like, that's so creative. They're all working. Art. They're all working in unity. They're all connected, like telepathically. It's so interesting how uniquely and divinely connected everything is on this planet and the universe. Like, everything is creative.
Everything. I love the fact that I got into creative stuff. My entire life I thought I wasn't able to do it. I was just, maybe it's just a thing that comes with time. I feel like just people just eventually catch on to who they really are as time goes on. Like, I'm only 19, so I mean, I have my whole life ahead of me. Who knows? Maybe like 5 years down the line, I'll be creating sculptures. I'd love to do that. You know Daniel Oshram by any chance?
I don't.
So I'll send you his page after. But this guy is phenomenal. He does everything from custom surfboards. He made this custom surfboard. It's like not fiberglass. It's clear, and it looks like bits and pieces of it have been bitten out by sharks. It's so dope. He has this crazy art form where he used to do more paintings, and now he's into sculpting, and like that's got me so down. I want to create something that just lasts forever, full blown. I don't even know.
That's the beauty of there. Once you become a creator, there's no one way that you can create, right? You're not limited by one medium of creation. That's why I love this life. I love Cory. That's why I love Cory so much, because I can create in so many different ways. I was thinking about it yesterday, like skiing and I do my tricks. That's creation. Surfing, that's creation. I got to class and I'm just painting with a Q-tip in class. For whatever reason, I'm a senior in college, painting with a Q-tip in class. Made a nice painting. Get home and I'm playing the guitar, and then I'm journaling, and then I'm doing qigong. And at the end of the day, I feel as if I'm just so tuned in to it all that I'm just never not creating.
Yeah, creation's in and of itself the most beautiful thing in the world. I wonder where things go from a starting point in creation, right? So like your art when you first start creating something to like 10 years down the line, you would argue that your art 10 years down the line is probably better, right? Because you have more experience. But the art that you first created, I feel, is an art in itself, because the fact that you didn't know what the art was the art. Like that's why I love children's like little stick figures. Like when I see my friends' kids, children sounds really weird. when I see my friends' kids, they're like just drawing cool things. They go, "Oh, art!" Like just making believe. But I'm like, dude, that's art. That's so dope. Like the fact that a kid comes up with this imagination to draw like a taco, and it looks nothing like a taco, but he's already imagining something that's literally, it's in front of him. He believes it's a taco, but you can't see it. So what, to what extent is the art more or less art? There's no rule. I don't
think that there is one.
Yeah.
There's no label on art. Like that's the thing. We try and put a label on everything. Say it's good or it's bad.
Oh hell yeah. Gosh.
Why?
Why do we do that? Why do we do that? We love labels, us funky humans.
Us funky humans, we love putting labels on everything. And rather than just accepting it as it is, well, look at that. How neat is that? If we just said that when anything that we saw, there would be no judgment, there would be no hate, there would be no fear. It would just be, look at all of us hanging out here on planet Earth.
Exactly. And then finding that within yourself also. Like if you apply a label in a positive or negative way, that could be life-changing. If you say like, I am this, I am that, I am not this, I am not that, I'm not a workout dude. You just classify yourself, put a label on yourself. That's like instantly saying, boom, I can't do any of this stuff because I just labeled myself as something like that. It's like, why would you do that to yourself?
Words cast spells. You start talking, I am, and then putting stuff after it, you become it.
Yeah. It's the label of, what was it? The positive label theory that we should call it. Because how do you become the best version of yourself? Let's use labeling to our advantage. Let's use positive labeling to our advantage. I think that's another thing that definitely helped me. I said I get up. I am the type of person that gets up at 6 a.m. right before the sun rises, and I go and pray. And I'm the type of person that doesn't do this and this thing, and those things be negative. I am the type of person that would constantly be working on themselves. And that, like the fact that I told myself that, subconsciously everything else just followed. Like I don't have to tell it myself every day. It does help, but. So
you restructured your own belief system that you had about Hal.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think like you said, the I am. You say I am a lot, right? Because I am means that you're in the present. And then when you focus on the present, you're not focusing about anything else, right? So when you're focusing on the past, your mind is, you're warped. Because nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. life is all about the change. The seasons change, people change, friends change, life changes. Everything's temporary. Nothing lasts forever. So if you become okay with the present and you become okay with the I'm here right now. Come and get me. That's it. You become the best version of yourself just like that. Boop.
It's surrendering to the moment.
Hell yeah.
That's the beauty in it, because the moment, I've said it before, the moment is the one thing that you always have.
Until it's gone. But then it's there again.
But then it's there again
Oh.
for billions of other people to enjoy. And that's the thing, is you're never truly at lack when you're living in the moment. Because the moment gives you everything that you could possibly dream of.
Can you expand on this a little bit more? I know you can.
Yeah. So think about it like this. If you're present in this moment, there is no past, there's no future, there's right now. What's in this moment? I am in this moment. Right?
What can we do with this moment?
You have infinite possibilities in this one moment, right? Because in the moment, you're not living yesterday, you're not living tomorrow, you're living right now in space. Okay? Think about it like this. If you are here right now, there's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, there's only right now. Where are we?
You're right now.
We're here right now in this space, right?
Yeah.
This podcasting space. But if I'm thinking about yesterday, I'm thinking, oh, I was at a lacrosse game yesterday and I was in my bedroom yesterday. Like, no, those are spaces that I'm not in right now. You're living in time when you're living past or future. And you're saying, I was feeling this way, or I am afraid of the future. You're going out of that present moment and creating a forgotten past or an untrue future for yourself.
Yeah, like getting yourself nervous over something that's not even, like, not real.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do that to yourself? Planning for failure, telling yourself, I'm gonna worry about something that's in 2 weeks from now when I don't even know what I'm eating for breakfast tomorrow. Yo, take it day by day, bro. Chill out.
Moment by moment.
Yeah, like make the right decisions. Obviously, schedule to the extent that you can. Do the things that you can do in the best possible nature. Don't freaking get wild about it. I got to take this test next week. I got to do this next week. Do in Hebrew it's called do your hishtadlut. That means put in your work. It's like God take the wheel, bro. Chill out.
It's the whole idea of just surrendering.
Yeah.
Surrender to the moment. Like, if you're fighting this moment, oh, I have to be here for another 30 minutes. Like, yeah, but you're here for another 30 minutes. It's reframing the way that you believe your reality is. If you are holding the belief that you have to be here or you have to go there rather than I get to, the moment gets a whole lot more special and you stop fighting it. Like I was saying, like, we're living in space. When you're unbound by time, how many times do you go out surfing or do something? How many times do you go out and you forget time exists?
Gosh, dude, on a wave, every time.
Every time. There's nothing else that exists other than that barrel, that next turn, right?
Gosh.
When you're doing a painting, there's nothing else that exists.
Get me so excited. I just want to go out and surf right now.
Except that next brush of the stroke of the brush, right? Like nothing else exists. You find that's the flow that's you going fully in tune. Right? That's why I keep saying living in tune. You're fully in tune there. You're not outside of that moment. You are fully immersed in space, unbound by time.
Wow.
So when you can get to a place outside of time, you're just seeing everything in its beautiful raw nature. You're just seeing the way things are.
So how can you like really tap into that? Like what are practices that you've tried to really tap into the present moment?
The practice I think that has helped me more than anything is breathing. Putting my awareness in the breathing and just taking deep conscious breaths throughout the day, focusing my awareness on my heart and just constantly breathing and saying thank you for this air. Like, I love being alive. taking a deep breath and just saying thank you.
Breath work is, I ain't even scratched the surface. Like you are the Wim Hof of the Jersey Shore area. That's for sure. But oh my goodness, ever since I started like really breathing, I never breathed. Bro, mouth breathing? Come on. That's not breathing. That's just going about your day. Breathing, like intentional, focused breath work. Oh gosh. You just reminded me of how good it feels to actually exist and really take in that moment. Can you expand on your breath work like different types of breath work that you've tried that have helped you?
I'm not going to go too deep, and we could do a whole episode about like meditative breath work and whatnot. But,
wow.
But the concept of just deep, not breathing out of your mouth, not unconsciously breathing, but just putting an awareness in your breath and consciously feeling the breath, feeling your lungs fill up, feeling the space around your body, feeling the air rush up your nose and then flow out of your mouth. And when you really put your consciousness, your awareness in each breath, there isn't much space for your mind to wander. So it gives you that clarity. It gives you that clairvoyance, the intuition in each moment.
Wow. I just breathed. I needed to breathe.
We all need to breathe.
Isn't that so funny? It's like the most obvious thing, but it's so not obvious.
And people put no awareness in it. That's the thing. And it's
free.
It's free. It's magnificent.
Gosh, it's such a blessing. Baruch Hashem.
And that's the beauty of it. We can just sit here and enjoy this moment just breathing together. There's nothing else that exists. We're not thinking about this getting uploaded to YouTube or thinking about this going on Spotify and hopefully Apple Podcasts this week.
Yeah.
But we're just here right now enjoying this space, this air that we've been gifted.
Gosh, it's helped me in ways I can't even describe, and I've been speaking about it more on my TikTok now because I'm realizing how it's not like breath work is spoken about for sure. It's not something that's not spoken about, but people don't understand like why it's so helpful. They get that. Oh, you should breathe. Great, just breathe. Take a deep breath. You're being told that since you're born, but taking real breaths, not just deep breaths, taking real breaths and really focusing at the right times, using your real breath. Obviously throughout the day, but also if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, if you need to focus on a task that you're having at hand, if you want to have more focus in your prayer, if you want to have more focus with anything that you're doing, taking that and channeling all of your energy to it is something that I've been talking about and helping people on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok and you're on this podcast, by the way, shout out to you. I love you very much. Keep going. You're a legend. Regardless if you came from the TikTok, this is for you. You're a legend. You're awesome. Keep going. I love you very much. And we're running up on 33 minutes over here, so we're going to cut it short tonight. But everybody who's on here, what number podcast is this?
Number 5.
Number 5. Podcast number 5. Use us as an example. This is how I'd like to end off. Use us as an example. Again, we started this saying we're 2 regular people. I'm going to end this saying we're 2 regular people. If you have a message that you need to get out to the world, you can do it. We're working here with $30 mics, an arm stand, and some free furniture in a room that is tiny. We're just here putting ourselves out there. If you have a message that you really want to share with the world, like, do it. Now's the time. There's no other time better than this moment right now. And 5 years from now, when everybody is doing podcasts, even though everybody's doing podcasts right now, but in 5 years from now, everybody's going to be doing podcasts. You're going to sit and wonder, like, I had this really cool idea about something, and I just never spoke about it. But now if I start a podcast, it's too saturated. I'm not going to be able to do it. So if you really are passionate about something and you really have like this thing for getting your message across to people, or you want to just make social media your thing, or you want to just get yourself out there a little more and see how you can make a change in the world, like, go for it, man. like we're just two dudes, some mics, and
Yeah.
in a room.
Mike and a dream, right?
Yeah.
Pick your ideas when they're ripe.
Yeah.
Like
Podcast number 5.
Podcast number 5, and we're going strong. We got it's 005 because
Yeah.
we've got quite a long journey to go.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see like how this expands. Like if we start like getting down on like one topic and ripping it apart. Like in Englehardt, it's called Be'iyun.
We've been very broad, I feel, so far, which is
it's not bad. I like it.
Good. I like talking about all sorts of stuff. I don't like limiting myself. I said it last podcast.
Yeah.
I don't like limiting myself and saying like, oh, you have to stay in this. Like, screw the rules. Like, screw any structure. Like, let's just talk.
Just talk. Let it all out and see what comes out of two people that are constantly, never-endingly looking to grow. Thank you, everybody, for watching. My name is Hal Doueck. This is Cory.
Yep. Find us on the socials. Well, I don't need to plug it. It's going to be in the description.
Hell yeah. That's a mission. Ooh, okay. Thank you, everybody.